Hi, I'm Loli, and I'm so glad you are here.
Welcome friends, today's video is part of a recreation inspiration and it is a challenge in which we are to recreate or take inspiration from another creator and create a beautiful project inspired by them. More about the challenge later on in the video. For my first inspiration piece today, I'm going to take inspiration from my friend Aurea from DIY with Aurea, and she created this beautiful birdhouse decor piece last year, and I've been wanting to recreate it for a long time. So here we go with my spin on it. And I'm going to be using 3 of these new decor pieces from Dollar Tree, and I painted it white with some apple barrel acrylic paint. Then I'm going to take some of this, I think it's called light peach color from apple barrel, and I'm going to paint all 3 of the background section of each one of the houses. And look how cute they turn it out. Then I'm going to take some of this fabric that I got from Dollar Tree as well, and I'm going to place it onto that ledge piece, only that where the little planter box is. And I'm going to measure to see how much I'm going to need, and I'm going to cut a section that is big enough to go alongside the front and the 2 sides as well. Then I'm going to take some Mod Podge and I'm going to add it to the front right there. I'm going to make a even amount, generous amount, and I'm going to place my fabric onto it before that Mod Podge dries. Press it down onto it and smooth it out. Then I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing with the other 2 sides. My friends, I want to take a quick moment to say thank you so much for clicking on my video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy it, and if you do, don't forget to leave me a big thumbs up. So once all 3 sides were attached, I'm going to go ahead and remove some of that fabric from the top section. As you see there, I made a little bit bigger. I wanted this to show that beautiful ridge that the ledge had, that you see what I mean there, the border of it. So I wanted to remove some of that fabric to expose that and to have a nice ledge of that white. And now here I'm going to just add some more Mod Podge to the back so I can remove that overlay. Then I took some antique wax and I'm adding it to the roof of my houses, just keeping my strokes nice and straight. I am going for a wood look, and I did the same thing with all 3. Then I took some jute cord and I'm just going to burn off the fuzzies, and we are going to add them to the edges of where the fabric meet the wood. So I'm just going to add a little bit of hot glue in the back to adhere it in place, and then I'm going to add hot glue all along the seam until I completely cover all the section, the edge between the wood and the fabric. And I repeated this with the other 2 houses as well. Then I took one of these wood signs from Dollar Tree, actually they're MDF, and I'm going to remove the packaging and that little cube, the hanger that it came with, and I painted it with 2 coats of my apple barrel white acrylic paint. Once that dried, I took some antique wax and I'm going to add it to the entire sign, making sure as well here to keep my streaks longwards and straight, because I want this to look like a piece of wood. Now that everything dried, I'm going to take some dowel rods, and I'm going to use 2 for this project. So the first thing that I did was add my dowel rod to the box, as you see there, and put the house against it to see exactly how much dowel I will be needing, and I used the other one to even things out. Then here I'm removing the excess dowel piece using my snips, and I'm going to take some wood glue and some hot glue to attach the dowels to the bottom of each one of these little houses. First I added the regular wood glue, and then I'm adding the hot glue to reinforce it and keep it in place until the wood glue sets. Now that everything is set and done, I'm going to take some floral foam from Dollar Tree and glue it into that little hanger, that the decor piece. And we're going to add the little houses and the dowels into it. I'm going to do the tallest one in the middle, and I'm going to create that hole, then fill it up with some hot glue, and then place the dowel back in there. And I did that with the other 2 pieces, but I cut the dowels a little bit smaller for these. Then I took some of this floral moss from Dollar Tree and I'm going to glue it all alongside to cover up that floral foam. And then I'm going to take some Spanish moss and put it on the little ledges in there. But first I'm going to use some craft paper just to fill it in the depth so I don't use as much of the Spanish moss. So I'm going to just add some hot glue onto that paper and then add the Spanish moss onto that just to make it look full but not use as much product. I repeated the same process with all 3 of the houses. Now we are going to make some cute little bows. So we're going to start with some of this raffia that I got. I think I got this from Michael's. And I'm going to just wrap some of the strands around my finger until I'm happy with the amount. And then I'm going to cut off the excess from there. And I'm going to use another piece of the same raffia to tie it together to make a bow. And I repeated this process 3 times. I wanted to add a pop of color, so I'm taking some of this buffalo check orange ribbon from Dollar Tree. And I'm creating like just a awareness bow, as you see there, and tying it in the middle with a piece of raffia. And then I glued that bow onto the raffia bow. And I repeated that with all 3. Now I'm adding my bows onto each one of the dowels, one higher than the others, just to match the height of the houses. And you think I'm done? I'm not done yet. I'm going to take these 2 turtle doves and I'm going to paint their beaks using some of that black furniture marker from Dollar Tree. And I took the furniture marker in the color mahogany and painted their little feet just to remove that redness and not realistic color they had. And I repeated this with both of them. And we're going to add them to the houses. I did 1 on each side, looking on the opposite sides. And I'm not done still. I'm going to take some of these eggs. I can't remember where I got these eggs. I think I got them from Hobby Lobby on clearance last year. And I'm just going to add them in different places. Some next to the bird, and I'm going to add some in the middle too. But first, I'm going to add some of this boxwood from Dollar Tree and just cutting it into little bushes as you see there. And I'm doing it like a grouping of the 2. And then I have left over with 1 more sprig of the boxwood and I'm adding it onto the same bunch to make them look like bushes. And then I'm going to take little pieces of this florals that I got from Dollar Tree and I'm going to place them on the ends of the dowels towards the outside of the birdhouses just to give it a little bit more color. And then we're going to take one of these little foam bunnies from Dollar Tree and I'm going to paint them using a mixture of white apple barrel acrylic paint and baking soda to give them a stone look to them. And I just did 1 coat with this. And we're going to take a little bit of hot glue and glue it right there at the base of the middle house. And that is it for this one. Let me know what you think. As I mentioned earlier, today's video is part of the Recreation Inspiration Open Challenge that is hosted monthly by Amanda from 6 Kids and a Glue Gun, Charlene from the Crafty Art Shack, and the guest host this month is Brenda from Rustic and Lace DIY. The links to their channels and to their playlist will be linked in the description box below and also pinned in the comments. Make sure to head on over to their channels and to their playlist and show everyone some love. For the next inspiration, I'm going to make or try to recreate this beautiful wreath made by Heidi Sambo. I'm going to use this wreath form that I got from Dollar Tree and I didn't like how dark it was, so I'm going to whitewash it. I'm going to just add some white all around it just to bring the color, just to lighten it up a little bit. This is how it's looking like so far. So I'm going to take some florals from Dollar Tree. I decided to use this, I think they're gardenias, and some of these other, I don't know what they're called, but I like how beautiful the stems are. And the fern part also looks pretty cute. I decided to put them at the crown of the bunny. And I'm trying here to figure out exactly how I wanted to place them. I was thinking I would put in that fern, but then I decided on not doing it that way. So here I'm just cutting some extra pieces. I'm going to use 2 pieces of the purple and 1 piece of the yellowish color of the same plant. And once I realized here that I didn't want the fern, I am going to just go ahead and bend the ends a little bit down as you see there, so this flows down as you see right there as well. And those stems were a little bit too long, so I'm just going to go ahead and trim them down with my snips. And I'm going to use 2 of the purple in each side. And as I said earlier, I'm going to use also the yellow ones, but I'm going to use only 1 little sprig of each on each side. To attach them to the wreath form, I'm going to use a zip tie. Then I took some of the coral gardenias and I'm going to add them to the section where the zip tie is, trying to keep them. I just cut them individually and I'm placing them next to each other, close to each other to cover up that section. And I'm just adding a little bit of hot glue as I'm going, making sure that they are nice and dry. And then just taking my time here, making sure that everything is adhered correctly. My friends, if you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to leave me a big thumbs up. And I hope you will also consider subscribing. If you do, make sure that you hit the notification bell so YouTube notifies you each time that I upload a new video. All these things are free and they mean the world to me. And if you're enjoying this video, I'm sure someone else you know will as well. So please like, comment, and share, because sharing is caring. Thank you so much for your support. My friends, if you're still with me this far into the video, thank you so much. Leave me a little flower emoji. Any flower that you like is fine, so I know who you are. Let me know what you think. For the next inspiration, I'm going to be using another piece from Heidi's sample. And she made this beautiful round with the bunny, and I wanted to give it a try. So I'm going to use one of these frames from Dollar Tree. I'm going to remove the packaging and the back and the piece of MDF board that comes at the front as well. Then I took the frame and I gave it 2 coats with my white apple barrel paint, and then I'm going to protect it with a nice coat of Mod Podge. And while that dried, I'm going to take some of this contact paper or craft paper from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to cut a section that will be big enough to cover that piece of MDF board that goes into it. And then I'm going to apply using the same adhesive backing that the paper comes with. Then I peeled off the smallest section on there and boarded up that end of the paper with the end of the MDF board to make sure that it was nice and straight. And then I just rolled off the backing as I was smoothing the paper onto the piece. Then I took my X-Acto knife and I'm going to remove that excess paper off the back. Now it's time to replace everything back onto the frame. So I'm going to just wiggle it back as it was in there, and then we're going to replace the backing as well. Now it's time to embellish it. So I'm going to use one of these eggs from Dollar Tree. First, I thought I was going to paint it in this, I think it's called, I can't remember what it's called, that brown color from Apple Barrel. I didn't like it. So now I came in with my moss color from Waverly and I gave it 2 coats of paint. Once the paint dried, I'm going to come in with one of these bunnies from Dollar Tree and I'm going to glue it right into the center. But first, I want to glue my egg right to the center onto the frame. So I'm just going to do that with some hot glue. And now I'm taking that little bunny and I'm attaching it to the egg, making sure that it's centered and flush with the bottom. But I'm not done yet. I want to embellish this with some greenery as well. I have no idea when I get this greenery from. It was just left over in my stash from some pick that I probably used and I didn't use this part. So I'm just taking the leaves away, as you see right there, and I'm creating a little greenery section, like if the bunny is just hanging out in the bushes. So I'm just positioning it there before I add any glue and how I wanted it. And then I'm going to use some hot glue and some crazy glue or some gel super glue to add them together. The paper, the craft paper that I used for this was kind of waxy, which was giving me a hard time for the hot glue to adhere. So I ended up using some gel super glue as well in those areas that were giving me a hard time. I am trying to position the leaves in a way in which it doesn't cover the pretty tail of my bunny.
I want to take a quick moment to say thank you to my subscribers for subscribing, commenting, liking, sharing. All of these things truly help my channel grow, and I am so grateful for you for all of it. And if you have not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and join the Lolly's Creations family and subscribe. It is free. And it means the world to me. So please subscribe.
Then I took a very thin ribbon that I got from Michael's in a grab bag, and I'm going to create a awareness bow using it. And I'm just going to scrunch it in the middle, as you see right there, leaving two tails. And I took a piece of jute cord and tied it in the middle to keep it in place. Once it was nice and tight, I'm going to just go ahead and cut off that excess jute cord and add a little bit of hot glue to the knot to avoid it from slipping. And I'm then going to just go ahead and cut my ends in slants and attach it to the little circle there, or the little hole in the top of the egg. But first, I'm going to cinch the edges to avoid it from fraying. I took another piece of the same ribbon and I'm going to glue it on the back of it, wrapping it around to the front and then gluing it on the back one more time to cover up the jute cord. And now I'm gluing it to that hole on the egg. And no, I'm not done yet. I'm going to take some of this moss from Dollar Tree and I'm going to glue it to the bottom of all the greenery right there to make it look even more interesting. And now I'm done. Let me know what you think. And here is the final reveal. Let me know which is your favorite.
My friends, as always, thank you so much for watching. Be blessed, be a blessing, and craft responsibly. And if you would like to follow me on social media, here are my social media links. And don't forget to visit my friends in the playlist. If you would like to watch some more of my videos, here's a suggestion, and you are more than welcome to binge away with this playlist as well. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. You're amazing. Bye.